Hi everyone. I just wanted to hop on and give the overall review of Sea Pines and Hilton Head from when I went a few weeks ago. I haven't had a chance to do that. I feel, excuse my appearance, the temperature today is going to be 100 degrees. So at this point, I'm just going for cool and comfortable for appearance. But yeah, so with Sea Pines, pros. The beach is absolutely beautiful. I grew up going to Myrtle Beach. And if you're familiar with Myrtle Beach in South Carolina, the waves, in my opinion, are pretty rough at times. But with Hilton Head, and this is the first time I've been to Hilton Head, so maybe it's just kind of a fluke for when I went, but it was like a lake. I have never seen an ocean that calm, and I've been to, the Bahamas, I've been to the Mayan Riviera, um, I've been to Puerto Rico, and I've never seen the ocean look like a lake for days on end, like how it was in Hilton Head. So that was actually kind of nice. Able to wade pretty far out. Excuse me, not have to deal with, rogue waves or anything. The water, excuse me, was a perfect temperature. It was just cool enough to be refreshing, but not, like ice cold where it's miserable when you hop in. Um, I rented chair set and umbrella from the resort on the beach. You can see I'm pretty fair skin, so I burn super easily. So, and I'm very much one who I love to take a good book, sit out under that umbrella at the beach and just read, and then hop in the water, when I get too hot. So they have the resort itself has super nice chairs and umbrellas to rent. Got, those thick cushions on them, so it's super comfortable. The city also has chairs and umbrellas you can rent right there. And they are cheaper, but they're not as comfortable. They don't have the cushioning and things like that. So for me, it was worth a little bit extra money to be comfortable because, like I said, I'm just camping out there. I'm reading. Um, so I have nothing but great things to say about the beach there. Like with the beach club with Sea Pines, 10 out of 10. Um, the restaurant that's right there on the beach, I think it's called Coast, if I'm remembering correctly. Um, Really good. Pricey, but that's to be expected, I feel like, with the tourist area. Definitely expect to pay more at a tourist area, but it's great. Great service. The waitress I had, super friendly, knowledgeable, very personable. So excellent service there. Definitely recommend that. Just know that you're going to pay a little bit more, going in. And it is right there on the beach. So I had to sit indoors. All the outdoor tables were taken. But even indoors, they have just a wall, of windows. So you can still see the ocean and everything. So it's just very nice. Um, I've already talked about the unit that I stayed in my unit tour. So I won't rehash that. Um, Let's see, other positives. I didn't get to any of the shopping like Harbor Town or anything like that. I was just down there to chill, just to relax. It's a little solo trip. The bike rentals. I did rent a bicycle from the Sea Pines bike rental. That it was already there at the unit when I arrived, and then they pick it up. The day of departure. I really enjoyed that so much so that I'm going to be getting me like a bike to ride here, like in my real life, So really, really enjoyed getting up after I walked Piper and just hopping on that bike in the morning and just, tooling around the area and just kind of getting awake and just exploring like that, getting some exercise in. I loved that. Honestly, riding the bike around was really close to tying as far as with the beach, as far as my favorite part of the resort. Um, I have not ridden a bike since I was in 6th grade, so that's a little ways away in the rearview mirror for me. And I just felt like a kid again. It was just wonderful. So I highly recommend, if that's something you're interested in, highly recommend the rental that's right there through the resort. Is a good quality bike. I got the step through bike, which I love. I wasn't having to like clamber over, the bike to get on. You just what it says, you just step right through to get on. And I did rent a helmet, since I haven't ridden in so long. I wasn't taking any chances. But I will say in South Carolina, helmets are not required by law, for motorcycles or bicycles. So I think I was the only adult wearing a helmet. Lots of the kids were, but the adults weren't. But at least I wasn't taking chances. I hadn't ridden a bike in so long. I did get the basket on the front too, because I had originally thought that I would just ride my bike to the beach club like every day. I could just throw my little beach bag in the basket and whatnot. But the beach club turned out to be quite a haul from my unit, so I did not do that. I drove to the beach club, so I ended up not using the basket. But I think if you stay closer to the beach club and you're gonna ride your bike, I'd pay extra for the basket for your beach stuff. So negatives. The place is very convoluted, and I feel like they've made it convoluted to navigate intentionally. And I may be wrong. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Thinking maybe it's more scenic or something. It's not. It's just annoying. So every day I had to use my GPS to get from the unit to the beach club. Because here's the thing, they would have really great signage from where I was at, which was the Rocket Club Villas. They have really great signage until you get close to the beach club. And then I would cut, like the street I was on would dead end into another street. No sign for the beach club. Had to turn left, right? No clue. I don't know why they're just like, you know what, let them figure it out at this point. Put signs up, people. Come on. So I'd have to use my GPS like every time. And so anytime I went really anywhere in the community, not leaving a community and going out to Hilton Head, in the community, I would have to use my GPS. So that right there would be a reason for me never to return. I don't want to be lost my whole vacation. And even the last day there, I thought I'll ride my bike down to Harbor Town because it wasn't that far. Never found it. Got lost trying to get back to the unit. I had to turn the GPS on. And even at that, the GPS was lost. It was just giving dotted lines in a bunch of different directions. That's unacceptable. For some place that caters to tourists and is this large, you need adequate signage. That's an easy fix, and I don't know why they refuse to do it. Another negative. So when you check in, they give you, like a little cardboard, thing for your dash for your car, like a parking permit or whatever. I have no problem with that. Understand that. What I do have a problem with is they put my full name and what unit I'm staying in on it. They expect me to display that on my dash. As a woman traveling alone, that is ridiculously dangerous and unnecessary in this day and age. They could have just put the unit number or just done a parking pass period. You don't need all that with the dates that you're going to be there. Instead of putting someone's full name and their unit number. That's insane. I finally stopped putting it on my dashboard because I didn't feel safe doing that. That is unacceptable. Unacceptable. They should never be doing that. And then, let's say issues with the unit, which I've already talked about in that video. So even though I did have a great vacation, it accomplished the goal I wanted, to relax. That was it. That was my only goal, relax. I definitely relaxed down there. I had a great time on my beach days. I would not go to Sea Pines again. I would not. I would go back to Hilton Head again and try like different areas, but I absolutely would not go back to Sea Pines again. Now, if those things don't bother you, then you probably will love it. But for me, especially the safety thing of that parking pass, that's an absolute deal breaker for me. Absolute deal breaker. In my opinion, a resort's first priority is the safety of their guests. And I feel like they don't accomplish that. But lots of people go, lots of people love it, return every year. It's just not for me. But like I said, I absolutely will return to Hilton Head. I could see going back there every year to Hilton Head, just taking it someplace different. But anyways, there's my 2 cents. I hope everybody has a great day. If you're in this heat dome, stay cool. I'll have to see y'all later. Bye-bye.